Nice. How cool is that? The dude inside's head's moving and everything. That's right, guys. Of course, it's not just me over here. I'm watching TV. That's DURC. He's got a video up right there. And man, that is so cool. Sorry, I had to get turned around there. So, all right, now before we go out and hit the ramp and possibly do somewhat of a speed run, now I don't plan on going top speed in my road because I never have enough room. I never have a break between the traffic long enough, and I just don't never feel comfortable enough on the pavement. But we're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see if I can break 45 at least. I've seen these run 49, so I don't know if this battery has got all that kind of, it's the cheapest battery you can get, and so far it's fine. But I felt like that one had a little more power, but it could be in the settings. It is a different 150 amp Hobbywing ESC. That's more like the Max 8. This one's more like the Quick Run. I think Max 8. I might say the wrong one. I don't know. But anyway, they're both awesome, so that don't matter. 40 bucks for this, plus I bought the adapters that day and stuff. So I ended up only spending, I think, $58, and I got 2 different style adapters to turn Dean's into a EC5 and to turn my XT60s into EC5s, so I could run multiple style batteries in these trucks, 4S, whatever. So there's that. So when I unboxed these, I was decided. I just got busy on it, but I didn't have a lot of the info. I hadn't really looked at them yet, figured them out, none of that. And I missed one of the biggest differences in the entire truck between the two. Something that's very important. It changes everything about them. It makes them a whole different vehicle when you drive them, but they're still both fantastic. Ain't nothing bad. But this truck is almost an inch, if not an inch and a quarter narrower than this truck. I guess, you know, they had to probably shorten the stance in order to get this body on there without it looking cartoonish and making it big. And you know, you didn't want your tires sticking way out here rubbing every time you jump, so they had to bring it in some. It's the same length. None of the length is different. I checked everything. The only difference in length is this bumper. This one comes out a lot more. This little sucker's like straight up and down. Now, other than the width being different, I mentioned that you get these extra tie rod ends or whatever. I did not realize the ones on the truck are plastic now. I'll show you here in just a second. You get the metal adjustable ones in the pack. This one came with metal adjustable links right there. This one came with plastic ones with the option to upgrade it yourself. So that is pretty cool. Let me go ahead and we're gonna Velcro this on there, like I said, and see what's up with that here in a few minutes. But for now, one more adjustment I think you guys might want to make, which I didn't have enough hot glue yet for the way I'm doing it, but you seen I added the extensions to the wires, which is perfect for putting the body back. I found out jumping on my ramp that when this tire comes up in here, obviously it's going to rub. I don't care about that much, but they had these wires stuck in this clip right here along with another one somewhere over here, and it happens to be one of these plugs like this is right here, right where my finger is. It comes through the wire and it's sticked out right there, so when I hit the jump, it ripped it on out, unplugged it. So I plugged it back in and I shoved them down in this groove over here and put a little hot glue, but then I ran out of hot glue also in this process because I didn't have my big glue gun working. So that's something you might want to consider changing. Maybe even get rid of these after you've tucked them in here. Tuck them in, maybe glue them with some hot glue or something so that they stay up in there. And then I'm leaving this here for a reason. I figure if the tire comes up and hits it, it'd probably pull it off there, but if not, it might help from rubbing a little bit. It might rub that instead of the paint. I don't know. It's obviously gonna rub, but still, that's just a small thing that you might want to consider. And the front ones, they're way over here by the hood. they don't seem to be rubbing. You can see the tire rubs out here, but not here. So far, we're good. Now, if you had the wheels cut when you jump, maybe, I don't know. So, now, I guess since we got this body lifted up, I'm going to go ahead and pull a tire off on both trucks. I want to show you the difference in the axles and everything, because it's wider. This one's wider, but it's not because they put wheel hexes or rims different. That's the first thing I thought. No, it's got shorter A-arms. It's got a shorter axle. So you cannot put this axle on this truck in the rear unless you plan on making it wider. Just so you know. Same with the A-arms. So now let me go ahead and take a tire off, and we'll go ahead and raise this up. We'll get out here and jump in just a minute and rip around. But oh yeah, one more thing I want to show. On here, it's got these adjustable ends. You see where mine's kind of back a little further than it should have been, but they pop off every now and again. You got to loosen, slide the rod in, tighten them up. They work great. But I think over here, it's no longer, it's adjustable if you turn them now. You see that? Metal rod comes into a turnbuckle instead of it bolting on with the grub screw and stuff. It's just a little different. Works out fine though. I kind of like this one. Looks actually stronger, and you don't have that grub screw coming out all the time. So that's an upgrade right there. So now let me get the tire off. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool that I finally got me a bit for tires here. Another one. Now that is surprising. These only have 8mm lug nuts or whatever for the size of the vehicle. But I mean, everything is strong. I've never seen one break, so that's not a problem at all. Let me go ahead and get these off. So okay, check this out, you guys. Let's see. I can show you how you can see it subtly too. For one thing, if you look at this little cup on the end of the axle here, you'll notice there's like a little bell around the axle, and it's right over next to that, where that mounts on this one. You see here, you got that there, and this bell starts way over here. I mean, there's 3/4 or inch different almost there, it seems like. So here's what we're going to do to get the measurement. I can do this one-handed. You know, I'm a carpenter. I should be good at this, right? So all the way to the rotor. We're on the rotor on the other side. And now, if you come straight at it, we're going to call that, to the other side of that rotor is almost 11 1/4, but we'll call it 11 1/8, just for the hell of it. Now, if I was on the other side of that rotor inside there, it would be 11 1/4. But we'll go 11 1/8. Now, let's see if we can't do the same thing over here. Try to do this one-handed. We'll butt it right up to that same rotor right there. You see it in there? I don't know if you can. But we're butted up to that rotor. Oops, get on there. Over here we got, we got a 12 3/4 to the other side. Jeez, more than I thought. So we had 11 1/8. And now we got 12 3/4. I'll be darned, that's an 1.5 inches at least. Jeez. Wow. Let's do the math. Sorry, now it's 1 5/8 inches, but we can be generous, say 1.5 inches. This truck is 1.5 inches narrower than that one. I want to take off a front tire now because I want to see how different the A-arms are. So now the front's a little harder to get a measurement on, but still we got like 10 7/8 on this one. Get back out of there. Hold on a sec. All right. From rotor to rotor again. We got approximately, well, let's say 12. So, what was that other one over there? 10 7/8 to 12. So, still got 1.1 inches there. And that suspension varies, you know, that whole thing can change once you push these down or whatever. See, it's all different. But it shows you they're different. There's a big difference. I guess you get the point. Now, you can see upper A-arm here, way longer coming out. This one here comes down, it's very stubby down there. So anyway, like I say, these are some super tough vehicles, very strong. I think they're fantastic. I just knew this one handled different though. I was like, man, and it's not a bad thing. I like things that are different because then it keeps you on your toes, and you got to learn to drive something different. But there's just not as much that's interchangeable unless you want to widen it. But if you wanted to widen this one, you probably have to trim the body or something to make it work, but you could make this one more stable by doing so. The body just wouldn't work out, and it'd probably look goofy. I would never do it. Obviously, I'm going to keep it just like it is. So should we change these while we're here? Is it that easy? It's just 2 screws? And then put a set together? Nah. I'm gonna leave them alone. I'm gonna leave it like it is. We'll beat on it like it is, see how they hold up. No reason to change them. It's got metal ball ends in there, so that's the main thing. Alright guys, I'm gonna button it up, slap battery in there, and we're going outside. Okay guys, it is a beautiful day out here. The cloud cover has been coming in and out all day, and I'm making a video with my Ruco power station and that solar panel charging it, and it's kicking ass in the clouds. It keeps fading in and out, but it's charging. It was at 58% today when I started. It was facing the other way over in my yard. When I went to the store and all that, I came back, I moved it over here because the sun has moved, and we're at 91%, and that's just goofing around, letting it charge on its own in the cloudy day, you know, on a cloudy day, in the cloudy day. Proper English, dude. No. Anyway. Now, let's go ahead and turn this thing on and let's just play around for a minute while we're at it. I think I'm just going to put it, instead of average, or what, how's this thing all work? Average speed, max speed. Let's just put it on max speed. I don't know what none of this other stuff is, but it's got the time of day and everything. Anyway. I'll just leave it on max speed, let it register what it registers. Turn on this controller. Turn on the car. Find the button in there somewhere. There we go. Alright, 6S. Alright, we're good to go. So let's make sure this thing's going to register. Again, man, I can't believe how smooth these things are. Yeah, it's registering. It doesn't cog down low or nothing. Look at this, a little low speed on a 6S battery. Smooth as can be. Yeah, like I said, I knew there was a big difference in something. I just didn't realize that over an inch and a half on the width. That would make anything handle different, wouldn't it? You know, let's do a couple passes here in the yard. I got my steering rate turned down a good little bit just to make it not flip as easy, I guess. But I kind of want to see what kind of speeds I might get in the front yard here. I wasn't going full speed there, but oh yeah. Let's see what we got. We've got 22 mile an hour just ripping across the yard. Alright, let's see what we can come up with here. Climb into it slowly. And we're in the ditch. But we made it. Well, we got the car back. It went right on into the deeper grass, no problem. I have no idea where the GPS is though. So that sucks. I seen it come off. So I'm gonna go back and watch the video. And we'll see whether it might be, I don't know. These are all thorns too. I was hoping it flew way over here. I got lucky in the past, but not this time. We might have lost the GPS. Not a big deal. Let's watch the replay and find out. This thing is so awesome though. That was only my fault though, because there was a car already coming when I turned around, so I had to get her off the road. So let's see what we can find. Okay guys, I've searched for a few minutes now and I have no idea. It's in these thick weeds and it's gone. It'd be nice if it beeped when it drains battery, but it's 100% charged. I'll have to watch that video in slow motion a few times or something. Maybe I'll get lucky. So now, there's no point in too many speed runs, I suppose. That sucks, man. I was hoping it went out in like the road or something. Why can't I get lucky? I'm not worried about it. It's only 30 bucks, but still. I wanted one of them for a long time. Now I need a better one. Time to hit the ramp, I suppose. It is hot out here. I got her straightened out and everything, man. All right, let's just see if we can't hit it a couple times. Man, that sun just came out. I got to cool down some. I do got the steering turned down a little bit more than I should at the moment. Let me turn this dual rate up a little more. We'll go about 75%, which kind of maxes it out. But I had it turned down for speed running out there in the road, so. Man, this thing flies. Fly like an eagle. Can't steal that song, probably copyright. Holy crap, you gotta watch it. You barely give it gas and it's going across the yard through the air. I mean, I don't know how far that was. Ooh, satellite dish. I mean, solar panel. So I better, I mean, just so easy, graceful. And I'm one-handed. I suck at one-handed driving. And I'm only going like, what, 10 miles an hour, 20? Somebody mentioned that they think that the diff oil is a little thin, and I agree. I think it needs thickened up a little bit. I'm going to probably order some diff oil. God, that is so cool. Let me try to get one or two slow motion jumps. Nice. So we have bad ones every now and again. All right, now, I'm not going to get too carried away today because I got plans for tomorrow and I don't want to break it before then. But we're going to hit one more good one. This thing's just so much fun. My controller sucks. I got to fix this. I took and made a hot glue nub here. See, the one I printed, it came with 3 different attachments. You can see it looks like a puzzle piece. They didn't fit it at all. They fell out every time, so you'd had to glue it. And they were like way long. So I just made a little hot glue nub, and I made it indented for my thumb, thinking that would be cool. But I should have balled it out, and that's what I'm gonna change. It's not that good. So therefore, I'm struggling right now, and this is dangerous. And I'm not that experienced at bashing on ramps. Oh, that was just a bad jump, because I should have lit off on that one instead. I'm inexperienced a little bit. That was pretty sweet though. Spun it around without flipping it after we landed. Yeah, we tabletopped it. But I'll get it if I wasn't one-handed, I'd be fine. That was pretty nice too. You see that? These things are tough as shit, I'm gonna tell you now. I just let it do its thing. Once it hits the ground and starts rolling, I'll just let it do its thing because I don't want it to break. And if you get on it, break an axle or something by giving it throttle. So I'm gonna do one more jump and I gotta go in the house. I'm burning up. It's too hot out here. That was a bad one. Let's do one more after that. Another bad one. I can't steer it that good. I gotta fix that. That was pretty good. All right, we got lights coming unplugged, everything, so we're gonna have to call it. Look at that. We done ripped them out. Not just undone, but ripped out. So first thing I would do if I was anybody, highly recommend you reroute the lights, the wiring. I highly recommend that. The back you can tuck in along the bed. The front should be ran down the center, nowhere near a tire. That's just my opinion, and that's what I'm gonna do. No big deal. I mean, it's a super simple fix. So there's that. I noticed my bumper's on the other side of the body now from that last jump. There we go. But, so we gotta fix this before we can jump anymore, or run anymore. So, okay guys, real quick. I decided to go ahead and straighten out my bumper mount the best I can. And as you can see, she's bent pretty good. Smacking into that basketball goal, put a warp on her. So I just didn't have a heat gun or nothing. I just took my lighter and slowly heated it up top and bottom and bent it back a little further and let it cool. And we pretty much got that side straight. I don't know if it will stay there, but we're gonna go ahead and try to get the other one to match best I can, and we'll call it good. So okay, we don't want to take too much longer, but we got that straightened out. She's looking good. Now I had it nice and straight, but when you tighten these two in, it actually makes it stick up here. So then you still have to push it down to the bumper, and so it actually is supposed to have a little bit of an arch to it. They probably designed stuff that way so that when you hit, being that it is arched, it allows it to give. If it was dead straight, it would be a lot stronger when you hit something, and it wouldn't be as good. It would probably break over here, stuff like that. So a lot of times they do stuff like that for a purpose. Nice little arch to it. But anyway, it's fixed. The body fits great. Also, real quick, I did go ahead and my wires came out where I showed it at the end there. I was able to pop them right back in, and they even locked in. So we got to reroute our wiring. You see what they do? They run it up the side here, which is pretty cool. If it was actually up in this groove, it wouldn't be bad. So, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get it over here, go underneath the roll cage and keep it underneath in this area, and go on down through here somewhere. Keep it on this side. But mainly it's just this area. I'm gonna unplug stuff, try to get it under there, and that's all I gotta really worry about. And then back here where I added the extensions, that does make it have more slop once the body's on in the back area. So I got to make a way where that can kind of stay tucked in, but yet when I take the body loose, it has that little extra give. I think actually once I move it over here, it's going to give me a lot more room and places to move stuff. But anyhow, we got it fixed. Battery is back on charge for tomorrow. We're going to have a blast. I'm going to go hang out with my buddy. I don't know who else is going to be there, but we're going to get out with the boats, rip around on the lake, probably do some swimming if possible, bash somewhere if possible, crawl, whatever we can do tomorrow, we're going to do. So, you guys know the routine. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, click on the links in the description below and get you one of these. It is awesome. I love it. I love both of them. Get either one. It don't matter. They're just phenomenal trucks. And I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.